Welcome to Updog Sports Talk. We are a sports show that likes to talk about sports differently. We got into this game because we got tired of the larger media networks focusing only on a few teams. You know, obviously only focusing on the Chiefs and the Cowboys in the NFL, and only focusing on about 10 of the 136 college football teams. So we decided to get into this. Hope you enjoy the show. I am your host tonight, Justin. This is a change from usual. Matt is usually your host, but he had to take tonight off due to issues at home with his house. I am joined by intern Tony and our special guest, Quesostream. Welcome to the show, guys.
What up? Happy to be here.
Good to be back in the saddle.
Tonight, we will be talking about the AFC West. This is part of our ongoing NFL preview series where we are previewing and making predictions for all 32 NFL teams. So the Denver Broncos, they reached the playoffs last year as a 7th seed. One of 3 teams in this division to reach the playoffs. So again, a very loaded division. Sean Payton, their head coach. And yeah, Bo Nix had a pretty good rookie year. So let's kind of look at their offseason moves here. Queso, what did you see? What did you see with their offseason strategy?
Unfortunately, they're making moves in the right direction. I don't know if you caught the audio before it cut out, but one thing I said was before they signed Geno Smith, I thought they were going to draft a quarterback, and I was pushing for Bo Nix there. But then we got Geno, so I'm like, okay, wide receiver. Bo Nix is I don't know. I saw him to be a good player, and a lot of people were like, "Nah, he's a 3rd, 4th round pick or whatever." I'm like, "No, he's way better than that. Way better than you think." Yeah, he had some good and bad times in Auburn, but he did really well in Oregon. I knew it was going to transition well, but just like when the Broncos drafted Von Miller, which I really wanted him to be a Raider too. He went to the Broncos, so I was like, okay. And then, sure enough, whenever he started, he played lights out. He played really well. I was not shocked, but I was thoroughly impressed with him. And all I got to say is, in that game where he did the pitch and they called a legal forward pass, in rugby, that's not a forward pass. That was a perfectly good pass, backward pass.
Yeah, well, NFL refs, probably a conversation that's not gonna go away tonight. I think we'll end up with that one again. Yeah, Tony, what are your thoughts on some of their offseason?
Their defense was kind of nasty last year. I think that that maybe it surprised me that they were performing as well, and then they kind of just doubled down on that in the draft. They had a couple, signings, Greenlaw, Hufanga, and that should help them.
Dude, I think you actually hit the name pretty good too. Like
Hufanga, hey.
yeah, kind of just a few strategic moves here and there, not really send the world on fire with any signings or anything. Just kind of picking up a few guys to plug a couple holes here and there. So not a free agent heavy team at all. I'm curious to see what Evan Ingram can do for them because they kind of needed a tight end. He gives them a weapon.
He's been solid throughout his career. He's played in some not great places either, and he's been
in Jacksonville and the Giants. Yeah,
yeah, he's not saying that's the gutter, but it's pretty close. Yeah, just looking at their offense, if Bo Nix doesn't take that step, I think they will struggle. I think they will.
Yeah,
they really don't have too many offensive weapons that they can, reliably rely on,
Yeah, absolutely. They made a couple picks here and there. I thought they would use their 1st round pick on a receiver, to be honest, but they didn't. They got R.J. Harvey at running back in the second round. They finally drafted the receiver in the third round, but that's no sure thing here. They have Cortland Sutton is their reliable guy. He is their clear top target. But then, what else are you looking at here? You're hoping Marvin Mims takes a step forward? Like, it's tough to tell.
He's had years, though. Sutton was Father Time's gonna catch up to him sooner or later.
Mhm.
So they might have missed on that. They might have wanted to go wide receiver.
Yeah, potentially. Queso, do you see any other weaknesses with the Broncos? Any other positions of concern?
Uh, I really don't know what their weaknesses are, but I'm over here thinking about Pat Surtain. As much as he is really good, I don't know. It was just something playing against the Raiders. He just always never played well against the Raiders. And I don't even mean to bring that up as a Raider fan. It's just kind of the truth of the matter. But he's more of a strength, obviously. But my goodness, he can ball out. I do know that. I've seen it. Maybe he'll maybe he'll step up more, but who knows? Maybe he'll go downhill. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe I feel like their pass rush is pretty good, but there isn't like a guy that you look at. And, yeah, I think with everyone else in this division, you look at their team and go, this is the guy you need to make sure you block. He can ruin a day for an offense. They don't have that guy on this team, but it's still a pretty decent group. So if we really want to pick on this team a little bit, I think that's kind of one spot to kind of look at. But transitioning to some of what this team does well, their offensive line was rated number 1 in the NFL last year.
I did not know that.
I guess that's how they made it to the playoffs.
It helps
Secretly.
for sure.
Yeah, it was very quiet, but I guess that's the thing. Like, you want your offensive line to not be known because, what as Tony knows, if they're talking about your offensive line, it's probably not a good thing.
It never is.
Oh yeah, but yeah, and obviously this defense is pretty nasty, and they only added with Jahdae Barron in the first round.
Defense wins championships, or so they say.
Yeah, it does hold true in the NFL because lots of times especially when you reach the playoffs, you can. I've said this on a few previews already, but you can find ways to hide a mediocre offense, but in the playoffs, you cannot hide a bad defense.
Yep. For sure. I think I remember hearing you say that before too.
I probably have said it before, and I will say it again. That's the show tonight. Great show, guys. Thank you for helping join us and filling in for Matt's absence. Matt, we have missed you. We look forward to you back on the next episode. But where you can find us at Updog Sports Talk. That is on all channels. We are very active on Twitter. We are on Facebook for the Boomers, Instagram, bunch of other apps as well, whatever. Social
TikTok,
media
YouTube.
Yep. Obviously, our shows are on YouTube. That's probably where you're seeing us. But if you don't want to see our faces, I know I have a face for radio. We are available on Spotify, on Google Podcast, on iHeart, on Google something or another as well. Although wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. So I think on a show we were on recently, they said if you haven't found us, you aren't looking hard enough. So I'll take that to heart and say, yeah, go ahead and find us, and we'll continue to talk a lot of fun sports talk. See you next time, everybody.